I have ordered Secretary Asman to issue a directive consisting of these essential elements. 1. Servicemen and women will be judged based on their conduct, not their sexual orientation. 2. Therefore, the practice, now 6 months old, of not asking about sexual orientation in the enlistment procedure will continue. 3. An open statement by a service member that he or she is a homosexual will create a rebuttable presumption that he or she intends to engage in prohibited conduct, but the service member will be given an opportunity to refute that presumption. In other words, to demonstrate that he or she intends to live by the rules of conduct that apply in the military service. And 4. All provisions of the Uniform Code of Military Justice will be enforced in an even-handed manner as regards both heterosexuals and homosexuals. And thanks to the policy provisions agreed by the Joint Chiefs, there will be a decent regard to the legitimate privacy and associational rights of all service members.
Should it be repealed, don't ask, don't tell? No.
Can you explain why no?
Because I think the reality is the great thing to say is that sure, homosexuals should be able to be in the military like any walk of life, but the reality is I think that it would make their life more difficult. And the whole reason that they started the don't ask, don't tell is to try to make their lives easier in the military.
Personally, I don't think it should be changed, but I think it's for the protection issue.
Okay. Do you think that the don't ask, don't tell policy should be repealed?
In the military?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to explain?
Well, it's a thinly veiled attempt to be able to remove it from the military, and it's still saying that homosexuality is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see why it would matter what the sexual orientation is with someone who's battling one way or another. That's gonna be the last thing people think about when they're fighting.
Yes. I just don't think that whether you're gay or lesbian or not determines how well you're going to be able to do it.
Do you think that the don't ask, don't tell policy should be repealed? Can you elaborate?
I think that the research the government has based the policy on is flawed. Other countries have openly gay men and women serving in the military, and there is no actual problem.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Why?
I think people that serve in the military, their ability to do the job has absolutely nothing to do with their sexual preference. Absolutely. They should be allowed to serve.
This is always, I'm always really careful because, from a school perspective,
Yeah.
I just always think that my position is that I support anything that promotes tolerance. So if repealing means that it's going to be a way to promote tolerance, then I would say that I would absolutely agree with it.
Okay. Don't ask, don't tell.
If it's with your parents, I think it's a great idea.
I think this particular poem about on AP government, there's so many topics I'd like to talk to you about on AP government.
Tell policy should be repealed. Okay. If it's repealed, then gays can openly fight in the military.
Okay, so if it's repealed, then gays can fight in the military.
If it's repealed, then they can openly fight. They're allowed to fight in the military, but as long as the military doesn't know about it right now. Don't ask, don't tell policy should be repealed.
God, that's a tough one, man. I gotta really think on that. It's for the gay people, right?
Yeah.
And it started in the service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the service, and we had 3 gay guys. And we didn't care what they were, what they represented, but as long as they fought next to me in Vietnam, they're better than some other guys. So I would say, God, I would say throw it out. altogether.
We are moving ahead on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. We should not be punishing patriotic Americans who have stepped forward to serve this country. We should be celebrating their willingness to show such courage and selflessness on behalf of their fellow citizens, especially when we're fighting two wars. We cannot afford to cut from our ranks people with the critical skills we need to fight, any more than we can afford for our military's integrity to force those willing to do so into careers encumbered and compromised by having to live a lie. So I'm working with the Pentagon, its leadership, and the members of the House and Senate on ending this policy. Legislation has been introduced in the House to make this happen. I will end Don't Ask, Don't Tell. That's my commitment to you.
Give me freedom, give me fire.